So we're having a look around, obviously setting up for van life full time and all this kind of stuff. And we couldn't find anywhere that was like a definitive guide about what you're supposed to do, what's right or wrong, or anything else. So this isn't a definitive guide for possibly the internet, but it's what we've done. So if you've got any better suggestions or anything else, leave them in the comments section down below.
And if we've missed anything, by all means, please quickly leave them in the bottom box below.
And then everyone else can pick up on them, or any hints and tips about it, stuff like that. So the first one is legal address. I've got them all written down. So this is also on our website. So if you go to www.gjot.uk, links down there right now, you'll get to see the full document with all the links and everything like that. But I'm going to refer to this, so excuse me while I keep looking. Legal address. So you need a legal address for things like your driving licence, your V5 for your van, medical, insurances, bank, credit cards, all those types of things. And we've actually found something that seems to be absolutely perfect, even its name's perfect as well, and it's called Van Post. So like I say, links down there if you want to go and check it out. But Van Post, they do boat post as well for people that live on a canal boat and stuff like that. So yeah, they're all kind of like set up for receiving mail for you at an address that isn't a PO box. And from that address they can redirect it to you wherever you are.
They'll even scan it in and email it to you, won't they?
Send you a text message when you've got new post, even like small parcels and stuff like that. And it's £220 a year plus a £20 initial deposit on postage fees, so that they can post stuff out to you and stuff like that. So legal address, I think we've got that covered now. I think definitely Van Post, we're all sorted with that one.
We did try family. I know lots of people have been saying to try family first, but there are issues for every family member that we would use for this. And no offence to the family members we've not approached, it's just that there's the right thing to do, and this is the right thing to do.
And the second part of this for us is our van's still got a couple of years worth of finance left to run. And our concern was, as soon as we tell them, oh, this is our new postal address, does that financial burden transfer to that address, and does that affect the person living at that address get credit or anything like that? So rather than ask any questions or do anything else, just
because we can't have that. Even the tiniest little chance of it affecting them in some way, shape or form, we can't have that. So this is absolutely perfect.
Yep. And obviously one of those things mentioned then was van insurance. And another post that we did a few weeks back, I think it was when we were talking about this originally, was we needed van insurance that gave us the ability to travel around without limits, because the insurance we had gave a 30-day limit. So you could go into Europe, but you have to come back again into the UK within 30 days.
I was wondering how they prove that.
Your ticket. So your ticket of exit, your ticket of entry.
Oh, but how do they know?
Because you have to say when you went out, prove it, and prove it when you got back.
Not that I want to do anything illegal, of course. It's just that, it's like the Big Brother thing, isn't it? It's like, how do they know?
Yeah, I asked all that, and that's what they said. Okay. If you make a claim, they'd want to see your outbound ticket and your inbound ticket to prove.
So just when you make a claim, not like randomly. Like they phone you up and go, you've been out 31 days.
Could be, I don't know. So what we found was the Caravan and Motorhome Club. We're not members, but I rang around all the insurance companies, and they offer 364 days cover in Europe. So all they say is for 1 day of the year you have to be in the UK. Other than that, free to roam. And they saved us nearly £150.
Yeah, I like saving money as well.
Cheap and useful.
Yeah.
So that was pretty much pretty much covered there. I think you even get a better discount if you join the club, but just no, not for us. When we had a caravan, we did, and in that sense.
We actually bought membership, didn't we, for both of them, for the Motorhome and Caravan Club and the Camping and Caravan Club for a year, and never used them. I think we stayed at 2 CLs or CSs or whichever one it was, and that was it for the entire year.
No, because they still want to charge you 30 quid a night, and it's just not one. Medical insurance. This was another one, and we still haven't got it right, but we've got it okay in terms of premium and duration. We found 90 days is quite difficult. 30 days is more common, but to get unlimited kind of like 365-day travel insurance seems to be nigh impossible at the budget we were looking at. So we've got one that covers us for 90 days, and the policy was £158, and that covers single items, so valuable items like camera gear, phones, laptops, whatever, up to £1,000. I think it's £1,500 for the laptop, and what was the other thing that it covered as well? Cash up to £200.
We don't carry cash though, so that's
and replacement costs, like say for example, if you have to get a new credit card and it costs to get that, they'll cover all that. And that was, excuse me for looking, with Insure and Go, again, links in the description down below, and that was £85 for a multi-trip annual policy.
For both of us?
Yeah, it's for both of us as well. Strangely enough, we both have to travel together to have the policy working, so you can't use it individually. If one person leaves the country,
so I can't drop off then.
No,
or uninsured.
Then you're uninsured. So
what if you're in Germany and I'm in Denmark and I just drop off?
You have to come and join me, sharpish, before like anything happens. I don't quite know how they do that, but I think you can't go out on your own and come back on your own. Travel money and banking, kind of group them up together. And this was another one because every time we've been abroad, we've either taken cash or we've kind of decided on which cards we're going to use. And no matter which card we use, whether it's like we have a Barclays card or whether it's our bank debit card, they always charge a transaction fee. So you get whatever the exchange rate is on the day that you make that transaction, and usually a nominal fee on top. Or not in the case of Halifax, it's like £1.60 or something.
It's a fixed fee, isn't it? Regardless,
So as you can imagine, you're away for 3 months because that's how long your travel insurance covers you for.
Absolutely, so no more than that.
No more than that. 3 months, even a transaction a week for fuel or something like that, that's going to rock up. So we looked at. I keep calling this wrong. I say Revolt, but it's
Revolut.
Revolut.
There's
no E on the end though.
Doesn't matter, it still says Revolut.
Revolut.
It's a Revolut card.
Again,
my friend at work recommended. So she's been using it for ages and she uses it with the kids, and she can top them up and see what their spend is, and everything is on the app.
And you get alerts on your app as well, don't you? So if you've just gone in to spend some money, your app will pop up and say, you've just spent this. So it's
and
like
this is your remaining balance kind of thing.
Confirmation.
And the card comes, my card's not in here, but look at this, look. I'm going to put it against my jumper so you can see. I mean, that's just the coolest thing. I even took it to work with me and I'm like, look!
Anyway, so really good. It's like a bank account as well. You can use it to have direct debits and all that kind of stuff coming out. And like Mandy said, you can say, put 50 quid on, and then you've only got 50 quid on that card for 2 reasons. Say like if you were to go into somewhere and lose it, no one could spend more than £50 on it. Or if you were to lose your marbles because you've got a bit, you can't spend more than 50 quid on it, or whatever you load it up with.
That was another thing from where it's like, if you've got 50 quid, you're going out on the road with your mates, you put 50 quid on the card instead of having cash or your bank card, because you know what it's like with contactless nowadays, it's like beep, 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 and then before you know it, you're in the first bar and you've got no money left. So at least this is my budget, really, and it's not going to go over. So it seems really good.
The other thing I love about it is if you make online purchases, you can issue yourself with one-off credit card detail numbers to use on that one website for that one transaction, so no one can copy your credit card details. If you are untrustworthy of a website, no one can do that. It's just like a one-off thing. Untrusting,
You're untrustworthy.
Oh, thank you.
It's not really.
So that's what we've done with that. We've set them up, and normally there's a £5 fee for your card being sent out and set up. You can pay more if you want a metal card or a
they had a rose gold one. It was amazing. I'm not paying £12 a month.
They want money off you for that one. We've just gone for the basic one with the basic free card. And there's a link down below. Obviously the document will take you to the website, and in that there's a link where you get it for free. So it's £5 off. And it's from a website. Is it Money Supermarket?
Yeah,
that I found. So there you go. The next one we're looking at is storage, and again it's kind of linked to the first one with the address. Some people might want to use family friends for storage. Again, say like our daughter offered, do it, no problem whatsoever. But where she lives, there isn't the space to store it all.
Oh, there's hardly anything, isn't there? I mean, even my friends have said, if you've got a couple of boxes, we can do it, and we might only have, because we're not taking furniture or anything, we're not storing that kind of thing.
No.
We might only have a couple of, there's like 5 little suitcases, which we're keeping just in case, but also filling with things.
It's like a van's worth, small van's worth.
A small van.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't want to spread it around over everybody.
Yeah, from what we've seen, everyone reckons 25 square foot of space.
Yeah, will be more than enough. They're saying for what we're thinking.
Yeah, and then the other thing we thought about was we want to be able to rock up whenever we want. If we need, say for example, we're going to put a change of clothes, summer, winter clothes or whatever.
And posh clothes, so like suits and stuff. If we're going to a wedding or something like that. Yeah.
We want to rock up and just get access to it, do whatever we want, without really worrying about who's in, whether they're at work, whether it's convenient with them or anything like that. So we looked at Big Yellow Storage and Safe Store, both local to us in Manchester, and they both seem to offer a price matchy deal. So again, they're both about the same, and they both offer the same professionalism, level of service,
really good levels of access,
insurance to cover your stuff and everything like that.
Yep, and they all have like the big trolleys to get your stuff in and out, and lifts and easy access.
Do
to
a
stuff
deal
like
on
that.
if you want to do a year up front, you get some bigger discount.
Yep.
So we kind of like a bit undecided about which one we're going to go with yet, but it's about £400 for the year, fully insured with anytime access. You get a key fob. You get a padlock given to you as well at the time, either key or combination. So that's just up to you. Like I say, family, friends, if it works for you, then great. For us, not so much.
We just like the flexibility. We don't like putting unpaid holiday, really. I know sometimes it's not, and any friends and family that have offered so far, they would categorically say you are not putting on us, but we'd have to have a document with like which boxes are with which people and that kind of thing, because it is too much to leave in one place. So.
So the next one is pet passport, and we've kind of gone for the Brexit blah blah blah.
Did you know the bit where we're not quite there yet, so you have to pay money just
and
in
no
case.
one knows.
No one knows anything.
So we asked the question: what happens if we have his rabies jab? We go into Europe, Brexit happens, and it's no deal Brexit, and he's not got his blood tests, which is apparently the default position in Europe is if you're not part of their member state agreement,
you've got to be on a list or you're not coming in.
Yep. And you need blood tests to prove that
the rabies jab has actually worked. Yeah.
So we've gone both on that one.
Yes, we've got to go. He's got those tests to come, but he's had his jab and we've got the passport. So we've just got to get the antibody test, and then apparently there's like a health certificate that we've got to get before we go over.
Yep.
But then again, it might be after Brexit before we go over, and if it is, then we'll know what to do. So yeah. It costs us a lot of money, all of this.
It has, because the blood test was 140
quid,
and his pet passport was 40 odd quid.
It was 98 quid for the passport and 40 quid for the jab. So 150 quid. So it's going to cost double almost. So yeah. Which
isn't great, but
I'd rather do it.
Yeah.
It's rather
just makes it so it's done and we're not stranded somewhere or anything like that. And at the end of the day, the blood test tells us that Cooper's rabies jab worked.
So that's no bad thing, is it, really? At least we know he's not going to get it. So,
Next one, driving licences, and it's called an IDP, International Driving Permit. And this is a scary one, because there's probably two we need to get around Europe. There's a...
1969?
Yeah, trying to get about 1968 and then 1949. Those are the two we need. I've since discovered that the 1949 we should have already applied for when we went to America on our driving trip 6 months ago.
It's alright, we didn't do much driving anyway.
We only did 4,000 miles.
Yeah.
So apparently we needed one for them, and no one told us, and nor did they ask for it when we were on the check-in desk getting the
hire cars. I suppose it's one thing just driving around random countries without checking it in, but we got a hire car.
So it is something, obviously, we are going to do. They're not expensive. They are £5.50 each at the post office.
And you have to take passport photos, and you have to take one for each licence.
One for each, so you need
found
two.
That one out the other day.
Yeah. So that's two permits for me, 2 permits for Mandy. And then the nice lady at the post office also said, oh, do you know your driving licences expire next year? So would you like me to go through the process and get them done now? So apparently every 10 years you have to have a new picture on and all that kind of stuff. So we had that done as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's all sorted out. Then the international driving permits, and that was what, 37 quid? Or was it less than that? 30 quid at the post office?
It was just over 30 quid.
Yeah. And they take your picture.
Because they do it for you,
yeah.
so it costs a little bit more. I think if you just get the forms and do it yourself, it's about 17 or 18 quid. But because they've got like a booth and they do the photos, and then you don't have to get someone to notarise or whatever, countersign your photos, because they do it all for you there. So it does save.
And when they send it off, it comes back faster. Yeah. Because it's been done in a correct way. Yeah. So again, check your driving licence to make sure it's not due to expire, because some of the permits last for a year, some last for 3 years. So there's no point having a 3-year permit on a driving licence with 9 months left. That was me.
Yeah. And there's the change of address as well with that, because she was trying to say, why don't you wait? If you just wait, you can get your licence renewed, you can get all your permits, and you can get your change of address all done at the same time. But we're thinking, well, we're going to want to be,
how long is this going to be?
Going, how long is it going to be to wait? So we thought we'll get this bit done so it's done, and then all we've got to do is change the address, and then that'll be nice and easy.
Next one's mobile data. Now, I've done a video on banging mobile data in the camper van, so if you want to go and watch that. But more importantly is the SIM card that you put in it. Now, I know a lot of people travel around Europe and they'll go to France, buy a local SIM card, load it up with data, shove it in, go to Germany, blah, 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 do the same. The EU has an agreement right now whereby member states, citizens can travel around and utilise their data. It is capped, so like when we went to France and everything not so long ago, we went to Denmark and Germany, and we were travelling through all these countries, and you get a text to each one. Just to let you know, you've only got, yours was 19 gig, wasn't it, on 3, mine was 15 gig on EE, and that's for the month. So even if you've got unlimited data, the EE will cap you. Again, Brexit might change that, who knows, but that's just what it is for now that we know about. The only thing that I would say is if you have a hotspot in your van and your mobile phone, maybe you can split them all that way, and that's what we're doing. We got a deal from 3 with unlimited data, SIM card that I can put in a hotspot. It's £10 a month for the first 6 months and £20 after that.
And that's unlimited
everything, yeah. So if you use it in a phone, it's texts, calls and data. But we're just using it in the hotspot for now. And then a backup phone, just in case we have trouble with 3, is going to be EE. And the EE SIM, I can share my data. So every month when it rolls over, even though I can only use 15 gig, my allowance of 100 gig, I can actually gift to another SIM card. So that kind of shares it off a little bit easier.
And then it's 15 gig for each SIM card, isn't it? So it does work out quite well, because we'll have 2-3 SIMs at 19 gig each, and then you'll have 2 SIMs at 15 gig each. So hopefully
we'll get by.
Yeah. So if not, you can always pay a $5 for a day to pass.
You can, but it's quite expensive though, isn't it?
It's a $5 a day, isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, with the last few weeks, I don't know if you've noticed any difference in quality of the videos. I hope not, because I haven't, and everyone that we associate with, YouTubers wise, they've not noticed either. But I've been crunching my videos down to the smallest possible file size, and that's saving me about 2/3 every time I upload. It used to be about 1.5 gigs, and now it's about 500 meg. That might be blah 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 to a lot of you, I'm sorry about that, but it means that our data goes like 3 times further. So it means we can upload twice a week or 3 times a week while we're away and still fit inside that 15 gig or 19 gig cap.
Sounds good to me.
That's important, you see.
Yeah.
Next one is breakdown. Bit boring, but again, something we looked at. Again, it's this trip length stuff. And again, lots of companies have little bits of stipulations. So I came across a company that is called eurobreakdown.com, where you could actually say, I want the maximum, which was 90 days. So a lot of these insurance companies seem to have this 90-day maximum trip limit. Our van is still within a 3-year warranty, so we get free European breakdown cover from Fiat. So I've looked at what happens when that runs out and kind of like based this off that. And that is that 90 days seems to be the maximum, but you can get, for about £150 a year, you can get a hire car included and hotel. So if something happens to the van, You've got a place to sleep and transport to get around, and repatriation if they can't fix it at a local garage. And there isn't one policy on there. It was about double. It was almost £300, but that covered the repair costs as well. So it was like one policy, no matter what happened to your van, accident, engine blown, gearbox blown, whatever, everything's covered.
Very good.
So just to let you know, again, links to my website blog down below, and the links and everything like that. So you can get that deal. And the final one is really accessories. I don't know how else to describe it.
Stuff you take.
Stuff you need when you go abroad, or that we think you might need, or you might need to know about.
Or that we need.
Or we need, yeah. So the first one is if you've got gas bottles, like, what was the first gas bottles we had? The interchangeable ones, what they're called, Calagas.
Yeah.
And other companies offer the same. In the UK, you can usually find a dealer network and go swap your bottle. Not so in Europe, because there are all these little companies that do the thing and they're not interchangeable. They won't take your old gas bottle. So if you've got one locker for one gas bottle, suddenly you're going to have to decide what you're going to do with that one. Do you bin it, recycle it, take it back home with you? Because you've got to buy another one when you're abroad. If you've got LPG tanks like we have, or refillable portable ones.
Gas it, is it?
Yeah. And somebody else, I think Darren's got a refillable bottle that he carries around as well.
Oh, cool.
You'll need these 3 little connectors that change the UK bayonet LPG filler connector into all sorts of weird and wonderful ones. One's like a kind of like a lock-over connector, a quick fit lock-over connector. The French one's weird. It looks like a big disc that clamps around, and I don't know. But yeah, they're about 25 quid for the set. Make sure you do get all 3. Spain, Portugal, France, Denmark, and all them, Germany. They all have their own variants, and between the 3, usually you're all right. The next one is a multi-plug connector. Because you never know when you're not in your van, you might want to use a campsite somewhere.
Might want to straighten your hair.
Straighten your hair, dry your hair.
And instead of doing it in the van, or use a hairdryer where it's going to get all condensated in the van, you can use their facilities. Just because when I said to John, I'm like, why would we've got plugs everywhere. And he's like, well, just in case. Just in case.
Because if something happens to your van and then you're put in a hotel overnight, you'll need to charge your phone and do all that kind of stuff. So what we normally buy is, again, it's linked down there, is a multi-way, then you get one adapter for the end of it. And I've even got a multi-way with 4 UK plug sockets and 4 USBs all built in, so it kind of covers everything there. What was the next one? Oh yeah, electric hookup on campsites. Again, you'll need a Euro connector for your hookup cable, and some of those Frenchies like to keep you on your toes. Yeah, cross polarity, which makes things blow up if you get it wrong.
Yeah.
So it's really kind of clever to keep an eye on that one.
Yeah, we don't do that.
They're about £7 or £8 per connector, so it's all right. Breakdown kit, like warning triangle, high-vis jacket, spare bulbs, spare fuses, and if you're in France for some reason, breathalyzer kit. Because obviously France is so poor that they don't carry breathalyzers, so you've got to breathalyze yourself.
Also, no, I was going to say also arrogant. You do it.
You do it.
But
yeah, just make sure that whatever country you're visiting, you've got the right breakdown procedure and everything like that. Oh yeah, I also included monthly budget, because a lot of people are asking how you can afford it if you don't work and blah blah blah. Well, we've got a little bit of savings, but that's the emergency kind of fund, and obviously you watch an advert and that pays us a little bit of money, but we've been through our absolute minimum that we need every month. So for example, the van post, the storage, the insurance, the diesel, the LPG, staying on a campsite maybe once a week, to have shower, fill it with water. We've got 70 litres of water on board, so once a week's probably alright for that. Emptying the loo, we'll need to do public toilets or something, but you know, if it's rainy and the solar's not been working for a few days, we've not been driving much, we can plug in on the campsite. Another thing we've included is gym membership as well.
Well, it's that pay as you gym.
Yeah,
it's not a membership as such, but it's like pay as you go.
Yeah.
So some of the places, it's as little as £1.50 a pop, and with that you can have access to anything that's in the gym. You know, some have pools, some don't, some just have classes, or some just have like a weight room. But more importantly, there are showers and toilets and hairdryers and plugs and all those wonderful things.
Yeah.
So for £1.50. Oh, you don't need any help, do you?
Oh, thank you.
She's
not wearing glasses.
Haha. But yeah, so it's a really good thing. And before we do so, I'm gonna hit up. We've got an affiliate program at work where I can get 20% off.
Oh,
so
cool.
and you can just you've got an account on there, so you can just literally top up your account and then use it as you need it. So that is really good.
Cool. Rest of the costs are mundane stuff: mobile phones, data for the hotspot, Amazon Prime. Obviously, you get Amazon Video in with that, and Amazon Music, so that's kind of why we're keeping that one.
And reading.
So yeah, that's really quite a good one. Netflix, because you got a Netflix and chill.
Hey.
Now TV as well. That was another one you paid.
Oh, that was a brilliant deal. £27.50 for 6 months of the entertainment channel, and that includes all like Sky Witness and Sky One and Sky Atlantic. So all the stuff that we like to watch.
Discovery Channel and all that kind of stuff.
So all of that stuff. £27.50 for 6 months.
We
were paying like £1 million a month.
You get an app on your phone. You can do it through web browser on your laptop or iPad, whatever. Yeah. So yeah, cool.
It is brilliant, and I think it's 6 devices. 2 people can watch at the same time. So it's really flexible. That means I'm not going to have to miss a certain program about doctors in a hospital in Seattle when it comes back on later on in the year. So I don't mind. I'll £27.
Yeah, catching up with your favourite TV shows, I think it's good. Yeah. So for me, it'd be like Wheeler Dealer and Deadliest Catch or something like that. So yeah, it's quite cool.
I just watch Friends on rerun all the time. Sorry.
And then like boring stuff like food.
Well, there was laundry as well.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, and what was the other cost we had for something like that as well? I forgot what it was. It was ad hoc
campsites, laundry, and gym were the 3 things that we thought we'd budget for, but we didn't know if we'd need them or not. Obviously, we will need some laundry, but we don't know how much.
Yeah.
We only do a couple of washes a week, really. Yeah. So yeah.
And obviously, the other thing is, as we mentioned, there's a repayment on the van. I've not included that, so our total costs are £650 a month, excluding the van repayment, because obviously in a couple of years' time that won't be there, and you guys might own your van outright or whatever. So I've not included that. But if you are considering doing all this with everything we've spoken about, with all the services and everything else, other people have done this. Darren, Urban Motorhome, has done it. People will tell you what the costs are, because everyone's nice and helpful. We just sort of say what our costs were, and we've obviously travelled through Europe for quite a bit period of time the last year, so we know what things cost and
we have got
where
a
we can
savings
do
pot
things.
for Justin
as well,
which is always if you can do it, then it's definitely worthwhile making sure that you've got a little bit there. It's just peace of mind.
Yeah. And we did go through as well with Greg, because they came back from their little trip recently, and Greg had the spreadsheets and everything.
Oh, it's exactly as you'd expect it to be. With Greg and Lou, it was done brilliantly, and there was no question about anything. And they were so lovely.
Dead open, just said check out. So we went through all the spreadsheets.
Yeah.
So we know that our figures are, average, doable.
Because they were saying how they did their trip, whether they were careful or not, and it's the same kind of thing that we would be doing.
Yeah, they spent like weeks on a beach bar and a campsite and stuff.
Well, I think I'd stay there forever if it was €11 for drinking all day. I think I'd stay there as well.
And I guess that's the thing is, obviously, while you're doing this, you can have holidays. So if we have holidays, that's what the savings are for. So if 1 month we might spend £1,000 because we've spent £400 on, enjoying ourselves.
And if anybody, like, if we do get to go with Greg and Lou, and if Dave and Joe come over, or if Jem and Tom come over with you and find some Euro camp somewhere, then we're going to want to up the budget a little bit.
Yeah,
so
to
it's
stay
nice
on the site for a week or 2,
Yeah, so it's nice to have that little buffer there for things like that. We're going to have to work out how John thinks we're going to get the shopping on £50 a week, but that's...
Yeah, so you see this and these, John's got to work on that. So if John drinks less and eats less, that'll cost less.
Yeah.
Because I don't need to be this big. And if I'm not sat at a desk all day, waiting for people to ring me and I can't do things, I'm going to be out walking Cooper. We'll be walking around beaches, walking around places, looking at stuff.
Local markets, buying fresh vegetables, because he's going to eat vegetables.
Yeah, they don't sell gammon in Denmark and Germany as far as I could work out. So.
In fact, I should hope it's Danish bacon.
Yeah.
Although we did feel slightly hard done to there because the bacon didn't look good at all.
No.
I bet we get all the decent stuff.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So there we go. Like I say, if there's anything that you're screaming at us now going, John, you've forgotten about that, or no way, no, you can't do that, I know a better way, there's an insurance company that allows you 360 days a year travel or whatever, then please leave a comment down below. And then we can all learn about it. And we're still getting a few emails off people saying, we'd just like to ask you this question, that. And I know it might seem quite awful, but I keep asking them, any chance you can ask on the video? Because then if you ask a question, chances are there's somebody out there thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
You ask it, we all talk about it. That means everyone can see it and everybody then can benefit from it.
And there's no such thing as a daft question.
No.
Just ask away. Don't worry about it. Don't think you need to hide out of the way in the inbox.
Not unless you're saying like what underwear are wearing.
Under Armour.
That was a daft question, I don't know.